This thing is probably the weirdest, most mysterious item I have ever bought at the thrift store. Anyway, I forgot to do the intro. Let's do it now, shall we? When I say bananas, you say peppers. And today's video is gonna be a little bit of everything. It's gonna be like a tea vlog, a story time, a historical lesson, many things. Let's just jump right in. My God, I'm Philip DeFranco now. As I was cleaning downstairs the other day, I found a pile of DIY doll stuff. I wanted to do a video probably more than a year ago of, what do they call it? Like redoing a doll that I found at the thrift store. You guys know that I love dolls and I love thrifting. These videos just started like getting recommended to me where people would take like American Girl dolls a lot of the time and they would get them in really bad condition, like stained and just really bad condition from the thrift store, like really tangly hair, just the whole 9 yards. And they would go through the process of like cleaning them and detailing them, almost like giving them fresh hair, a fresh outfit. And that just seemed like something that I would like to do because you guys know like my favorite place to shop is the thrift store. And every time I'm at the thrift store, I can never pass walking down, especially this one Value Village location that Kat and I go to a lot. For whatever reason, this store always has like two rounders, like the tops of their aisles have like almost like a plywood tabletop. There's always like two aisles in this store that are covered in dolls. Like I've never seen anything like this at any other location of a thrift store ever, but for whatever reason, they have like American Girl dolls and I don't know what those like they're kind of like meant to be American Girl dolls, but they're like the Walmart version. Porcelain dolls, all kind of stuff. So you know me, I always have to like just take a walk down and look at the dolls. And I had never bought a doll like that before until I started seeing these videos. And then I found this doll because it was like seated in my mind. I was like, you know what, that would maybe be like a fun video. And I honestly always thought about doing it on this channel because I feel like we make more of like that kind of content here. So I was gonna do like a face up redo of an American Girl doll. So that is why I bought this doll. Now, you guys might laugh at me right now because I honestly thought that this was an American Girl doll. You guys may have heard this story before, but I never cared about dolls at all as a kid. I never asked for one doll. I owned like a few dolls that I feel like my mom and other relatives always desperately tried to give me dolls to like get, I don't know, like it's not like my parents ever really cared, but I did always ask for like the nasty boys toys. I've told you guys this a million times. Like I never asked for like a Barbie doll or a doll of any kind. So me not really knowing anything about modern dolls, I thought that this was an American Girl doll. So I got it super cheap. You guys can see like the price is still on her face. It says $4.94, right? Isn't that what that says? Yes, $4.94. But they were having like a half off sale and then we had an additional half off coupon that we could stack on top of that. So I think roughly I got this doll for around $1.25 or something. So I just kind of bought it on a whim. And like I said, I think I bought this doll in like 2018. She was living in the back of my truck forever, just chucked her back there. That is how I disinfect a lot of things like this that I buy from the thrift store because, you know, the sun kills everything. I don't know that the sun kills everything. The sun probably doesn't kill everything. That is not scientific knowledge. That's just the way that I think about it. So anyway, you know, I had this doll for like a year, 2 years, and I don't know, I didn't think about this doll for a long time, and then I rediscovered it at some point last year, and I started like looking because on Amazon they sell a lot of doll parts for people that like to redo or face up. I don't know what the correct term is for American Girl dolls. Let's just say transform them. Like you can buy shoes, clothes, wigs, glasses, all kinds of stuff. I haven't seen much like actual official American Girl doll brand stuff. So that's why I got this doll out again at some point last year because I was trying to like measure the circumference of her head and everything to buy another wig. Is this interesting details? Probably not. And so I noticed on the back of her neck that she has a logo here that says my twin stamped. Oh my God. My twin exorcist doll. And then I was like, oh, that's not an American Girl doll at all, which further piqued my interest, right? And then started like researching this doll, which this is, oh my God, the twisted web that I've learned about this is, it's so fascinating. It's so weird. It's so mysterious. The plot thickens. Okay, so I started, I think, looking a little bit into what a my twin doll was. I don't think I'd looked very deeply into it at this time. I think I was just more astounded that this was not an American Girl doll. It was also around this time that, now this is probably my favorite YouTuber to watch right now, but he made this video about a year ago. I think his technical name is Critical, but his channel name here on YouTube is like Penguins XO or something. He made a video, I swear, on one of these dolls. He showed this doll that his mom had custom made for him when he was like a real little kid. I don't remember how old he said. And he said it was like always the creepiest thing. It always scared the crap out of him. And I think it was like at that time I put two and two together because I was like, oh my God, it sounded like something that was meant to like be a twin of yourself. And I think I started to just like think about this doll more after that. I don't know. I sent him a message on Twitter and I was like, hey, is the doll like a my twin doll? And he had already given it back to his parents. I wasn't ever able to like suss out if that doll that he showed in the video was a my twin doll. Anyway, I'll link that video down below because it's kind of hysterical. But I think it was just like that video that he made like kind of springboarded me into doing more research about these my twin dolls, which leads me to just wonder, do you ever see things at the thrift store that seem like they would be like sacred objects in a person's life? Like that somebody, like even if you hated it, like your parents or your grandparents or somebody would want to keep it. Like I see people's like wedding photos, wedding dresses all the time in a thrift store, things that seem like very custom. And I'm like, how does this ever end up in a thrift store? So I started doing more research on these my twin dolls, and this is someone's twin out there. This is like a doll made to look specifically like somebody. So my twin dolls began, I think, in like 1993. The company was founded by a doctor, and he actually designed the dolls to be like an emotional support kind of item. Like if a kid was scared to go to the doctor or whatever, they would have a doll based on their likeness. Doctors used to do that for me when I was a little kid. Like I would bring in like a stuffed animal or something. Like I remember I had like a troll doll. Do you guys remember like the treasure troll dolls, but they made like cloth body ones at some point? So anyway, I remember one time I was really little and I had to have an x-ray, and that really scared me. So the doctors like put the troll doll in the x-ray machine. I hope at some point in my life I'm gonna be able to find this, because they let us keep like the x-ray image of the troll doll so I could see like all the stuffing and stuff. It's a really, really cool thing that hopefully I can find at some point in time. And if I find it, I'll bring it here and I'll show it to you guys. So anyway, that was, I guess, the origin of these dolls. Was so kids could, you know, they could like put a stethoscope on a doll or something, and then like the child would feel more comfortable. And then I know that there was like several different owners of this doll company. It's kind of weird. I wonder why this doll like never got as big as American Girl. I don't know why. It seems really cool. I mean, it looks to me like the quality of an American Girl doll, which I know American Girl is like freaking huge. We even have a store here in Houston that I've never been to in my life. But do you see what I'm saying? Like there's like huge stores for American Girl dolls all around. But this seems so cool to me, because I will go ahead and insert a order form here. Like you could go through and pick the face shape of the doll, the color of the eyes, the length of hair, the style of hair. Like I've looked up a bunch of pictures of them on eBay and stuff, like people selling their twin dolls as well. And you can get boys, girls, like you would send in 2 pictures of yourself. Does anybody out there, did y'all ever have a parent, or did you ever order one of these dolls? It turns out the company actually went under in 2016, so kind of recently. So I think from like like 1993 to 2016. There was like some iteration of this company making custom dolls for people, which just seems like so much more custom even than an American Girl doll, because I think that that is like the draw of those dolls to a lot of people, is that you can like dress them and you buy all these like little accessory kits and whatever, you know, so that it matches like you, your lifestyle, what you're into. This is what the doll looks like. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I picked her out just for the eyes. Like, what the hell is going on here? It leads me to believe that, you know, I don't know, like, did somebody just kind of like chuck this doll somewhere where maybe it was exposed to sunlight or something? I don't know what is going on with these eyeballs here, right? Like, it's so haunting. This was just one of those items where I was almost on the cusp of like having that feeling of like, maybe this is something that I should not own. Maybe I should just leave this alone. But I actually bought it, you know, like I said, with the intention I was gonna like rip its hair off, maybe even like repaint the face or something. Like, I definitely was gonna clean it up and change the clothes and all of that. But now that I've learned more about it, I almost feel weird about like ripping the hair off and stuff, because this is, who is this? Who is this? But like I said, maybe somebody didn't take very good care of it or left it in the sun, because like this doll has no pupils. Like, I think I saw on one of the charts where you pick out the different features, like I think violet eyes was a choice, but this isn't, like, if you saw it in person, the eyes are almost like pink. And I think you can kind of see pupils in there, but it's really faded. Like, honestly, how, I don't know. Like, I bet some of you guys out there are gonna be like really creeped out by this, and some of you guys are gonna be like, what? It's just a doll. And I see like both angles of it, but it is just kind of weird to me to like almost be like holding. Like, I wanna know the story of this. Like, I wanna know whose doll this is and how it ended up at the thrift store for $1 and how my crazy self now owns it. So I don't know how early or late a model of this doll is. And if you search my twin on, I almost said on eBay, you can find a lot. Like, I've seen people saying that these dolls are really expensive, and some of them are. There is like a whole network of collectors for these dolls. I don't know what the features are that they look for. I don't know what makes some of them more valuable or less valuable than other ones. I think it has something to do with the face sculpt and stuff. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, so this is really interesting because I did see some other YouTubers talk about you can get more information on the tush tag, like a Beanie Baby. So I had never like taken the outfit. This is just literally just how I bought it. And I thought that these clothes would not be like my twin clothes, but this is actually one of the later models, I would think, because it has a my twin tag on the clothing here, and it says 2003. Can you guys see that? I think it specifically says July. Oh my God, 2013. Not 2003, but July 2013. So we're gonna keep deep diving here. I believe that this is an 18-inch doll. There was an 18-inch version and a 23-inch version. I think the 23-inch versions are maybe like more collectible because they're more bendable, like the knees actually bend. They're more like a large ball jointed doll in that aspect. So she has like plastic arms and legs. Now that is kind of the cool thing, is they say that the arms and legs are kind of on more of a skeletal system because they're more posable. They have a cloth body. Let's see if the pants say the same thing. July 2013. So this also has to be her original outfit. There's also a tag on the doll and it says 2013. And this is kind of sad because there is a space on the tag that says I belong to, but it's blank. I was hoping we would get some more information about her. So that kind of makes me sad. That's like some Toy Story stuff. Like, you guys, I have a bizarre emotional sympathy for inanimate objects. I have always been like that. Always been like that. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story, but I was such a nut in like kindergarten and first grade and stuff. I would steal all the scissors, all the crayons, all the glue, and take them home with me. I would shove the crayons in my shoes and take them home with me because I thought that the school supplies got lonely at night, sitting at school all by themselves. That's how insane I am. So, it just kind of makes me feel sad that like maybe somebody got this doll in 2013 and they just like never cared about it. Maybe they just like chucked it to the side and, cause I think it's in pretty good condition, honestly. Like the hair is probably like the roughest aspect of it, but I feel like I could just literally wash this and comb it out in like 5 seconds. But I mean, compared to a lot of dolls you see at the thrift store that are just literally wrecked, she is not in bad shape at all. Like I'm sure you guys can see like the cloth, the body and everything is like absolutely pristine. Honestly, thought that this doll was a little bit older than she turned out to be. Like her face, just something about this doll does look very 90s to me, or is that just me inserting my own aesthetic preferences onto everything else that I see in the world? I guess it was just like the hair and the face and the fact that the eyes do look very faded to me. Let me know what you guys think. Do y'all think that I should still do a makeover for this doll? I did buy a wig and stuff. I think it would fit because I feel like I was just like measuring the circumference of the head, and I think that the proportions are very similar to American Girl dolls, and I think that I probably could like lift the hair off without doing much damage. Like basically what I'm saying is I could keep this wig if I wanted to put it back on the doll, or put the other wig on the doll, because it does look like it's just glued together. The glue is kind of coming up. That was kind of the only like damaged thing about her. Well, some of the glue looks like yellowed as well. And from everything that I was reading, that has something to do with like the collectability as well. And I think like why collectors started to sort of be dissuaded from collecting these is supposedly like the quality of them was way, way higher towards the beginning of the company, like in the early to mid 90s versus some of these later dolls. So maybe that is something as well, because there is like this like yellow glue stuff in her hair where the glue is coming separated. So I don't know, maybe that was like part of the company's downfall, let's say. Also, like how much are people into, well, I feel like really little kids. Like when I was a freaking kid, like there was people still collecting. Like I think we were like the generation that sort of like held on to stuff like this a little bit longer. Like I remember when I was a kid, like people pretty much like collected dolls like this, definitely up to junior high. But I feel like the crowd for like American Girl dolls and stuff, kind of like the cutoff of interest seems to be at a much younger age. Like, is that just my old person's perspective that I feel like kids really are? Like, I feel like the older generation was saying that about us, and now I feel like I'm saying that about some of the younger generations, but it really does seem like kids are growing up like super, super fast these days. So I feel like toys like this are now considered like to be extremely juvenile or for a very young age bracket, whereas like kids in my generation, I feel like we're collecting stuff like this for a much longer period of time. Anyway, I don't really know where I was going with that statement either. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about taking this doll apart now because it is so weird. It's so interesting. And look at this, you guys. It's like this wig comes off in almost like a whole kind of like, I don't know, like scalp kind of thing, because look, it's like there's like a plastic scalp in the wig. So if you were to remove it, like you would remove like a whole section of the head off of the doll. Do you guys see that? It's so weird. Oh yeah, I guess what I was about to say is I'm not sure if it's on that chart that I plugged a picture of in here, but you picked like brow shape, if your kid had like moles or birthmarks or freckles or whatever, and there's actually clips you can find on YouTube of people doing this. There was an artist that would hand paint and work and customize each doll, like style the hair, make a custom outfit. Oh my God, I know the last thing that I was gonna talk about before I go really quick is, you know what this reminds me of, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen this or not, because once again, like, and I feel like, especially when I'm feeling stressed and stuff, like, I am not too proud to put on an episode of Goosebumps, okay? And several years ago now, R.L. Stine started doing this new show called R.L. Stine's Haunting Hour. So it was a lot like Goosebumps. It feels very nostalgic, Dogman and I always say, like, and sometimes to this day, I will just watch. I think that show is like, oh my God, I don't even know, like 8 years old now. But the pilot episode is about a doll like this. And I'm gonna have to link it down below because I found this episode on YouTube if you just want to take your mind off of something. And just, if you're wondering, I'm always wondering, what's R.L. Stine doing today? That's just always at the forefront of my mind. So if you're wondering what R.L. Stine has been doing within the past 10 years, you might like to tune in and watch this show. I don't think they make new episodes anymore, but it was pretty good. At least like the first season that I remember, it was pretty good. But there was an episode all about a doll like this where it was a doll made in this girl's likeness and the doll is evil, and it reminds me of this. It's like this exact same process because they even show the artists, like you would send in, once again, a picture and they would custom cut and sew an exact outfit to match the outfit that your kid was wearing in the picture. Like, it's literally a mini-me of someone. I just want to see this person in the Houston area. Do they still live in the Houston area? Am I gonna see somebody with brunette hair and pink eyes and no pupils? Because that is something I would like to see. I also thought it was really interesting. My parting thought is, on the chart, you could have an option of eyes for the doll that's just black. Just solid black eyes, no pupils, just black. I guess that's like my twin demon doll. I don't know. So very interesting choices. I know for a long time, people were saying like in the 90s, it was actually something you mailed in. Like, do you guys remember when you ordered things from catalogs? Are you that old? Do you remember that era? But I think the forum that I was able to plug a picture in here, I think that was like the later, like kind of, which I'm like, oh my God, can we look? I actually have the chart on here. You guys tell me, because I cannot pick it out, but ooh, maybe this is, does this look like an Audrey? Do we guys think that any of these face shapes? Leave me a comment down below if you think one of these faces on the chart matches the face of this doll. Maybe she's a Wendy. It's so weird because it's like, you know, this doll is like custom painted and the hair is different and everything, so maybe that's throwing me off. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's so cool. What do you guys find this story interesting? I just thought that this whole saga was pretty interesting, and I'm not usually somebody that like deep dives or like really cares enough to like research anything. I know maybe how like stupid that sounds, but like very rarely am I like, let me like research the history of this company. But this was just like, so, and maybe it's because it's like a doll thing and I'm like hyper interested in dolls these days. So maybe that's why it like particularly piqued my interest to learn about these My Twin dolls. But I would love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you guys can guess anything about this doll, if you guys know anything about these dolls, if you guys had an experience with these dolls, if you're international Banana Pepper Squad, did you guys have a service like this back in the day? Did they ship these dolls internationally? Have you guys ever seen or heard of anything like this in your life? I have so many questions, and let me know if you can answer any of those questions. Anyway, you guys, until I see y'all again, which will hopefully be very, very soon. Also, let me know if you guys are interested in videos like this. Let me know. I would just like to know everything that you're thinking and feeling today. But until I see you guys again, which is going to be very, very soon, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sassy, stay at home, and stay banana peppery. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see y'all again very, very soon. Bye!